Developing tonight, the Trump administration has announced a freeze on child care funding to all states, including Washington, following allegations of fraud against daycares in Minnesota. Good evening, I'm Steve Solis.
And I'm Molly Shen. The administration says that money will only be released when states prove the funds are being used legitimately, but did not provide any further detail. The announcement comes as a Washington state lawmaker calls for an independent audit of child care centers that receive taxpayer money. We have team coverage tonight, including Michelle Esteban, with daycare operators facing severe backlash over the so far unfounded allegations of fraud.
But we begin tonight with senior reporter Chris Daniels, who has been pressing state leaders for answers about if or when they'll investigate. Chris.
Yeah, Steve, a top state Republican is calling now for an outside audit of child care providers after the state attorney general's office told me today that it is reviewing multiple allegations of fraud and harassment centered around Somali-run child care centers. Just days away from the start of the next legislative session, Travis Couture says oversight is needed.
We should have more open and transparent government.
The House Assistant Minority Floor Leader and Allyn Republican says the viral social media videos depicting potential fraud at Somali-run child care centers is why the state should create a third-party audit of private entities receiving public money.
Make sure that the taxpayer money is being used appropriately.
It comes after both Washington's governor and attorney general acknowledged receiving both fraud and harassment complaints at Somali-run facilities in recent days, but do not have a specific number to provide, with a longstanding policy of not answering questions about potential investigatory matters, adding the State Department of Social and Health Services normally handles fraud allegations against child care providers. The AG's office uniquely handles both defending state agencies and investigating fraud, but says if there were a potential conflict of interest, the office would ensure a separation of functions. Are you aware of anything in terms of an actual case of fraud, of the use of taxpayer funds at any of these child care centers?
I'm not aware of any of this. But it's not out of the realm of possibility that exists.
Imran Siddiqui, the executive director of Washington's Council on American Islamic Relations, says the viral videos in both Minnesota and Washington depicting subsidized child care centers with no kids could be misleading.
And one of the things that I would say is my kids have been out of school for the past 2.5 weeks. And people are showing up at the door of a school that they're researching on December 31st. So how do you know that these businesses are even open during this time?
We need to investigate these allegations of fraud.
Couture says the entire story is why his House Bill 2058 is needed to change the system and provide an outside voice to determine what's in the best interests of taxpayers.
The state government has to be proactive in looking into any kind of fraudulent activity.
Couture also tells me that he believes his bill will get a hearing in Olympia when the session begins next month. Steve?
Chris, there has been some discussion online about a Washington State Senate bill that would provide a public records exemption for certified child care providers. What can you tell us about that?
Yeah, Steve, I think you're talking about Senate Bill 5926. That's sponsored by the East Side Democrat Lisa Wellman. I did speak with her office today. They issued a statement to me suggesting that Wellman was first approached about this issue last fall, and what she's trying to do with that legislation, again, according to her office, is to standardize the protection laws that exist in Washington state between residential and non-residential licensed care facilities. And records do show that Wellman filed that legislation 4 days before those viral videos in Minnesota surfaced.
Okay, Chris Daniels live in Seattle. Thank you, Chris.
Pierce County Sheriff Keith Swank wants to hear about any potential fraud. He posted this on X saying, quote, "If anyone finds any possible fraudulent activity in any Pierce County daycare, send me an email and the PCSO will investigate it further." He then goes on to list his county-issued email address.
Daycares and child care centers here in our state continue to face an onslaught of scrutiny online and on social media. KOMO's Michelle Esteban joins us live now with a closer look. And Michelle, you've actually visited some of the facilities here that are being called out on social media.
I did indeed, Steve. And I can tell you, of course, we couldn't visit them all. I did visit a few. And in one case, instead of finding no daycare or no children, I found a daycare that was open on New Year's Eve and kids inside.
This door is locked.
From this viral video that opened the floodgates of questions surrounding potential fraud in Minnesota to this.
There's no car seats, there's no children's toys, nothing like that. So we're going to go in and we're going to check it out.
Viral videos here in Seattle blasting daycares in Washington.
A lot of these daycares are
more than 500,000 views for each of these posts, with allegations building and swirling. We went to 3 of those daycares, all in the city of Kent, to see for ourselves. This operator told me she read on social media that her business is closed. But when I showed up unannounced, she opened the front door so I could see her daycare and the children inside.
I'm here. I'm working hard. I have a legit business. The state allow us. They send licensing to our homes. They check our business, everything.
Only about 6 kids today. Typical, she said, on a holiday.
People are putting our information out there, putting amount of money that we don't do. Also calling us and saying liars, because they are ignorant. They don't know all the information. They just follow with those people that benefit from YouTube and social media just to make money and get followers.
10 minutes after our interview, she called and asked me to hide her identity after a caller threatened to kill her. She said there may be Somalis linked to fraud in our state, but says if so, let the investigators investigate and hold them accountable.
We're not comfortable to open doors, talk to people which we do not know what they are capable for our own safety. We encourage our community not to open doors.
Despite the accusations, there is no evidence by the government or court system of any wrongdoing here. The state, the Department of Children, Youth, and Families insist it has regulatory mechanisms to monitor potential fraud. Last year, its Quality Assurance Unit conducted more than 1,400 audits on child care provider payments. And while DCYF has a physical address for every provider, by law, in-home child care centers are not required to put their address on public databases, which might explain why you can't always Google their addresses. Our next stop, the Omar Muna Daycare, also in Kent. No answer at the door, but their neighbor who lives directly across the street was home.
Well, what can you tell me about that house?
I'm not totally familiar with them, but I do see cars pulling up, dropping off children, picking up children.
No answer and no sign of anyone at our final stop, the Halal Safia Home Center. According to the state records, the provider had several serious violations, including bleach accessible to children and no working emergency lights.
Let the state handle. Let them do the investigation. If there's fraud, everybody who's doing fraud must be facing that. But give us respect and space.
On Tuesday, the Fed said that all federal child care payments across the state, including our state, will require justification and receipts before any payment is made to the state. I called the state to ask them about it today. They said so far they've received no communication about it. That's the very latest. Back to you.
Michelle, thank you. As we've been telling you, the calls for transparency and investigations here following now viral video alleging fraud at Somali-run daycares in Minnesota. There are also accusations of widespread fraud with other businesses and agencies there. Today, the Republican-led House Oversight Committee announced 2 hearings to investigate allegations of fraud in Minnesota. One is scheduled for next week and will include state representatives. Another hearing in February will include testimony from Minnesota Governor Tim Walz and State Attorney General Keith Ellison.
KOMO News will stay on top of all new developments with this story, and you can follow along when you're on the go. Just download the free KOMO News app for updates and breaking news, plus traffic alerts and the latest weather forecast. You can also subscribe to the KOMO News YouTube page, where you'll find extended interviews and video clips.